are listening to the Goal Party Podcast, where we finally relax at the end of the week, make a drink and some hors d'oeuvres, and grab a mic to discuss setting, achieving, and failing at goals. I'm Valerie Aiello, the host of this pod where anything can happen and the party starts now. Okay, we are live at the Goal Party Podcast. We have Mary Jo Staebler, the famous web designer of the world, or of what city? What city are you in? Are you in which one? Sorry.
Oh, Washington State.
Oh yeah, Washington. Okay, so I am not using headphones. Hopefully you can hear me. If anything's like repeating, I guess I'll put them in, but I don't understand the technology, maybe you do, of why you used to have headphones to go live stream, or it would like repeat and feedback, and now you don't. I'm not sure how that works.
I don't exactly know either. Well, I can hear the myself. What do you call it? I hear the feedback of myself after talking. But yeah, maybe, I don't know. I think it's a matter of does your mic pick it up? You know what I mean? Does your mic pick it up? So then it's trying to have your voice come in as well as whatever's over your speakers. Nowadays, it doesn't. Yeah,
doesn't matter so much. Okay, so we'll get into the interview. Where should people go to discover you? Like your main website?
Yeah, mainly my website, even though I'll probably be changing it up soon. But otherwise, on Twitch or on Twitter, just using Mary Jo Staebler. That's my full name, and then that gets you there.
I'm going to Google it or whatever.
Mary. I know, right? Okay. With a hidden E.
So I've got it. You're the first Mary Jo Staebler on Google search.
I did my SEO well.
Okay, so I'm using Melon to do the live stream, and we're streaming to 3 places: LinkedIn, Twitch, and YouTube. So if anybody's out there, I think I can see the chat. So please say hi or put a question in there. And this is also a podcast, so it will be available. I don't know how fast I'm gonna after the show edit. I haven't gotten a system yet, so this is my second guest, and I'm working it all out, So basically, the Melon is it's like a broadcast platform, and I'm learning how to do it all. So it's like I'm the producer and the interviewer at the same time. And I just want to put text in the ticker. Okay, here we go. Found it.
Oh, that's cool. I like the ticker at the bottom. It's pretty cool. Oh, look at that.
So there we go.
Nice. Dude, that's so cool.
All right. So let's go to the questions. So given you the questions before, and hopefully we can trying to make the show be consistent, and it's a goal party show, so it's about goals. And let's go with the show questions. Number 1, where have you been? What have you been doing? Where have you before today?
Before today?
Yeah.
I was in the other room. No, I'm joking. I've been just kind of figuring out what I really want to do. I've been doing website design, and I've done the websites for a long time, but actually I'm a freelance, or whatever agency, what I want to call it, for about 4 or 5 years, and I've kind of hit a point where I'm like, where do I really want to take this, and where do I really want to go? So I've been kind of hidden. I usually am on Twitch, or at least some platform. You can see me tweeting. That's not that hard, but actually live, I haven't gone really live anywhere, because we used to go live. I used to go live like on Facebook and all that stuff, and trying to find the right platform for your audience. And
exactly. Okay, so you've been just this kind of for clients, agency, web development company that you've had going. And so you're kind of a tech guru lady, I guess. And, you know all the dig deep questions about websites and more. You have more things you're into. So where are you now? Meaning, I'm kind of curious, like, what excites you right now with social media? I feel like we're in social media 2.0 and we don't know where we're going. So everyone has like a different thing they do. So what are you doing now with the internet?
Yeah, I'm still trying to fill it out.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to dive a little bit more in Twitch. I'm realizing I love web development a lot more than just the design part. I mean, I love UI, I
Mm-hmm.
love
Yeah.
design. It's not really, it's just, I'm really, really good into development. So, um, being on the Twitch platform is definitely great because there's a lot of development people on there. A lot of that's where like kind of the space is outside of like maybe Twitter, for the
Mm-hmm.
general like just gossip and talking of stuff. But I'm also really enjoying Twitch, not Twitch. What's the other T word? TikTok. Hello.
Yeah.
They're all T's.
TikTok. Mm-hmm.
I'm really loving TikTok. I'm still trying to understand. Well, one, like I'm still in flux about like who is my ideal like audience, and so it's kind
Right.
of hard to be like what kind of content to make because that'll really drive who's watching you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So definitely looking at TikTok a lot more.
Yeah. TikTok has totally changed my mind about social media. I've said it a million times, I feel like, but it really, I was on that path of like social media is bad for you. It's not really healthy. Like, what do you really get out of it? Just being an average person. Obviously, if somebody already figured out how to make an income using social media for the past 10 years, they figured out why it's valuable. But for people that are just like, why am I here? I don't know what I'm doing. I was just on that train of like, this is really like, I feel like I could focus something more valuable. And TikTok
Right.
has changed me. Yeah, because it's like just so it's like a new tool. It's like a camera, it's like a movie, it's like a picture. It's just like all these different weird things all combined and you can make whatever you want. And
Yeah,
it's
and having that conversation in there too. So it's not just a matter of, you are the
yeah.
show and that everyone just kind of maybe gives you a comment or something, but no, there's actually interaction in terms of like video. And that's just a mind bender for me because it's like, it's easy to hide behind text and comments and people still do, especially even in
Mhm.
TikTok, but it's like you can actually have interaction and feed off each other and it's just a great platform.
Yeah, the behind the scenes element, which I haven't totally grasped. I'm trying to figure out what's my behind the scenes because apparently that's like the thing that really can connect with somebody out there in the world is like, yeah, you might be doing something really cool, but it's like, and you might be able to show it off really well, but then the behind the scenes, the next stage of that post is the behind the scenes post. And then that's the connection part, maybe.
Yeah.
Somebody put it that way. And I was like, yeah, again, see how that's really connecting because you're like, I have a secret. Here it is, you know? So,
Like and follow for part 2. No, joking.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The,
Yep.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead.
So it's still something I have to figure out in terms of, how do you really get into because there's a lot of different aspects to TikTok. At that one, it's like it's hard to like decide what's really good, especially when you only have like a minute. I know there's 3 minutes you can do. That's just I
Mm-hmm.
think not there for the attention span of those people using TikTok. But yeah, like how do you get it all in 1 minute, and how do you make it interesting and intriguing that people actually do? But just like a lot of times, you don't need to do anything too fancy if you really have great ideas and content and topics.
Yeah. Like, I really do feel like if you want to bake a bread every day that's in the shape of a Frenchie bulldog, and that's what you do every day, I feel like that's now a career. Like, if that's like the careers can get so super unique, it's just, and people will find you and have fun with you. And who knows, there's a million different ways to make money once you have an audience. So it's just like, I just have so much excitement of what is about to happen. And I have that same question that you do. Is like, where am I going to go? Where do I fit in? So the next question is, where are you going? Which is, you're still working it out. Are you thinking about adding something other than the web development stuff, or you're just want to keep in that lane, or what are you thinking?
So out there in the world is something called a developer advocate, or they also call it developer relations, or even a developer evangelist, which, it's for a company, is to help bridge the gap between someone maybe who's more salesy, or even a customer service aspect to it all, where it's as you help developers understand how to use their tools and take advantage of whatever developer like APIs or some other features that they have that's available for developers to use, and how to use it and what's best to use it. So it's kind of being the in between. So you're not totally a generic salesy customer service type. You're actually someone that's, along inside a community of developers, and help bridge that idea of like, hey, this tool is really great to use, or here's some great opportunities to use with it. That's where I think I'm more like heading. Um, it's kind of nervous because it's going to create a lot. You have to create a lot of content. I feel you have to really be in the community, which, I am in a lot of great technical developer communities.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, to keep generating a lot of content, a lot of interest. It's just the same as someone probably being on social media.
Yeah, I've so I'm not an A student. Like I'm not a perfectionist. I'm like, let's just do it for fun. Come on, let's go. I don't have to know everything, but the one thing I know for myself is that things will distract me or take me off like I might have the perfect schedule, and like anything, like someone's birthday. Okay, my schedule's off for the entire week now. Like it's very hard for me to keep it going. So my goal is like every day I make my TikTok video where I'm practicing that 15-second edit. Because that's hard to do. So I just make a coffee film to where I'm picking a song, I'm making my coffee, and I practice editing.
Oh,
And I
that's a
feel
great
like
idea.
I'm in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm letting people know about cool music, and I'm practicing, maybe they don't care. I don't know. But, and then I'm just trying to do the podcast by myself, like a 5 to 15 minute every day. And if I don't hit that every day mark, if I get 3 shows in a week, then that's like 4 days of procrastinating. Then I'm like, I feel good because I at least got 3 in. And even if I miss the whole week, it's like, no, I'm back on track. Like I'm using the daily with lots of buffer to fail. So I guess, I don't know. That's how I'm getting through the consistently making content when it feels weird and hard, So
See, that's a
maybe.
great idea. I think that's a fabulous idea. I should probably get into that, because a lot of things that stop me from actually making content. It's either like, what exactly should I make content of? How do I do this so it turns out really great? Like, how do I edit? Or like on Twitch, how do I, get like 2 hours of span of and but also get some other things done. But yeah, how do you fit that content in and yet be consistent? Because that's the thing you need to do, right? Be consistent. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That-
Yeah. And it's hard. I mean, for people that are, I guess, because I don't have like an audience waiting for my next thing. I think that's what kind of like makes me think, well, okay, no one's waiting for this. So I'm just going to not do it. So I don't know. I guess maybe it changes when people are waiting for you to post something, but I'm not at that stage yet. So 7 days a week, I hope to put out content. But if it's just 3, I feel pretty
Yeah.
good. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is amazing. Just practicing the live stream. Thank you so much for coming on and everything. I mean, this is practice. Gotta start somewhere. So
Right. Yeah, yeah, and be able to have a conversation online, and not necessarily, take it over. Like, where's the nice breaks when you're saying stuff?
it's hard.
But yeah, it's hard. It's like just trying not to step on each other's words or something.
Yeah, the lag, and then who knows? There's a million things. Okay, so the next question is, do you have any advice to someone that wants to maybe do what you're doing, I guess you have a lot of different, you could take single clients or you could take a big company and do things for them. So I don't know. What would you say is the most common question for somebody that does or wants to do what you do? What would you say that is as a job, a career?
A lot of times, if they're more of a technical person, that's where they start their thinking versus more of a business oriented. It's like, what technology should I use? Especially when you get into more of like WordPress specifically or JavaScript thing. It's like, which WordPress theme should I use? Which of this? What are all the plugins I
Mhm.
should use? Or if it comes more high technical, do I use React versus Vue versus what other JavaScript framework, and where do I really go from there? And it's funny because I just got a call from someone who was saying, "Hey, are you looking for a copywriter?" Because as someone who would, make websites for other businesses, you got to have good copy to make a good website. And so, like,
Mhm.
I'm telling him, like, I'm not looking for a copywriter, but here's all these places that you can go to, and so it's kind of hard to say, like, what's the first question that someone would come and ask me. Outside of technology, it's a matter of, how do I get leads? How do I get business?
Right.
And for the one that I'm in, it's more of, you really have to look for referrals, because rarely is anyone really going to go look, because there's so many websites out there, especially people who do websites for a living. They're probably going to have a nice site,
Mhm.
but of course, not everyone does. So that is a good thing to do, no matter what. But referrals are the best way to get work to come in, and
Mhm.
just work yourself up from it. But yeah.
Yeah, that's all just being a freelance graphic designer, brander. I never looked for jobs, which sounds insane. Well, maybe like in 2008, 9, when you could find jobs on Craigslist, when that was like a
Yeah.
thing. I definitely found, I was in LA and I was pretty much only working with, I only wanted to do music designs, and labels would put jobs on Craigslist for freelancers. I started freelancing in 2007, and 2009 was the crash. And
Oh
then
yeah.
all the art departments, all the record labels kind of fired all their art departments. But I was already kind of a year into freelancing and really comfortable with it. So I was there to scoop up the work, I guess. But it was definitely like I did something for one company, and then another company was like, this girl actually does the work. Like,
It has it all in order and ready to go, and is structured. Yeah.
hmm so referrals, I think it doesn't it seem weird that you do kind of, the jobs kind of roll around somehow without trying. I don't know if you experienced that, but I definitely, it's weird almost.
Yeah. Yeah. Once I connected with people who are actually, either serious about their business and know other people, because they're all networked, right? That's
Right.
that's when I started to get a lot of calls in. Oh, hey, this person needs one, that person needs one, and if you do a good job, those clients that you had will refer people to you, because they have a connection with other people. So
hmm
yeah,
Yeah, that was one
definitely.
unique question that I thought could be a helpful thing to know is, so I'm kind of thinking from the point of like, when does somebody know they need help with a professional web developer? Like, what types of businesses do you commonly see, or is it just totally random? Like, when do people know, all right, I need to take this to the next level? Like, just random.
Either they've come and said, come to realize that their website is not doing as much justice, or it's not doing the function that they need, or they need something more sophisticated, like e-commerce or some other sort of unique thing to their situation. That's generally when people start asking, or and a lot of times this is what happens is, they go for something that's a little more flexible, like WordPress or something, and they don't realize all the security risks that come with it, or the things that have to
hmm
happen to make sure that it doesn't have security risks. And so I get a lot of people who come to me because their site was hacked, and so it's obviously cleaning it up, and then educating them, and
hmm
for them to realize that, yeah, I need somebody else doing this, because this is not my wheelhouse. That's a lot.
Yeah, I never even thought of that. People's websites getting hacked and then just desperately coming to you for help. Like, what can you
Yeah.
do once that happens?
And that's one thing is I do recommend, especially if you're in the realm of helping clean it up and taking care of websites like that, is getting in touch with an IT professional because most likely they are connected. People when they get something hacked, they call an IT guy or an IT agency, and a lot of times they just don't do website stuff. They just don't. They do the more server, everything else, emails, whatnot. And so
Mhm.
yeah, I had a great partner that was his own IT department, and yeah, people would come to him and be like, "Hey, I got someone else to recommend." So, yeah, great
That's a
right
good
there.
one. Yep.
Yeah.
So do you
Mhm.
find that you see people like from Etsy kind of trying to escape that route, or people that using those crowd sites and then they're realizing I'm going to go totally me? Does that happen
Yeah, oh
a
yeah.
lot? Mm.
That does happen a lot, especially if you're in connection with a lot of people who are crafters or makers, is they tend to see either like I had a client who was kind of get into the more of a copyright realm, and so she didn't want to get controlled in that with some like Disney
Mhm.
things that were like they look associated but not really. And
Yeah.
so yeah, she was looking to find her own route. So there's that kind of thing, or they're trying to get around the fees, or there's a lot of like it's just a lot of people on Etsy, and it's still great. And if you're
Yeah.
paying ads, it's still great. But when you
Mhm.
want to start making your own money and start making your own platform, yeah, you start slicing away from it for
Yeah,
sure.
especially if you have a following and then you're sending all the people to your competition when you're on Etsy. I could see once you're getting at a big place, Etsy's good, and then at some point you need to go bigger.
Yeah, but the whole brain shift of realizing that because all the traffic that are easily come to Etsy, right?
Right.
Um, Easy going, but when you get your own site, that's the whole break. Is like you have to realize you have to do this big, massive other ways to get people to your
Yeah.
site. Unless you are great in social media in terms of you just have that following that you can easily
Mhm.
swift gears. But if you don't have that following, you don't have
Yeah.
social media, you don't have that, yeah, it's going to be an uphill climb.
Yeah, you need a show. Like everyone needs a show. I'm not sure people understand that. Like the show
Yeah.
is like the thing. I feel like even if you're a dentist, I feel like if you're like moving to a new city and you're like, oh, here's a dentist recommendation, you're gonna say, does he have a YouTube? He or she have a YouTube channel? And I feel like everyone just that connection is like doesn't have to be perfect, but I feel like it needs to be there, like for every single thing. It's
Yes.
crazy.
It's crazy, and it is a lot of work, and so that's why, yeah, there's people out there that just do social media because it is
Mhm.
a beast of itself, and to learn all the ins and out and how to properly do it and where to go, oh my gosh, it's just yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. But I think that's what is exciting that's happening that's different. I feel like because we're from the maybe the 10 years ago social media where it was like be here, be there, post simultaneously at these all these places. And I feel like now it's like you could just have a podcast, one podcast. You don't even have to be anywhere else because everyone's so spread out, or just on TikTok or just on YouTube. YouTube seems hard these
Yeah.
days. I don't know. And it's not like it's oversaturated or you can't do that, but just seems like a lot of video platforms popping up.
Oh, yeah.
It's intriguing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I don't think I can handle I mean, that's why I like going on Twitch is because it's a little smaller still. People can easily
mhm,
still find you, but there's also a little bit more community there, a little bit more, like, not as so filled with people, I guess. I'm not sure if that's the word. But yeah, with
mhm.
YouTube, it just seems like it's just bombarded with like eyes and audience, and it's just like it's hard to wrap your brain around for me. So
Yeah, it's
yeah.
so many personalities where Twitch is it's probably people interested in tech, people interested in video game. It's a lot of different things on Twitch, but it's like that same a very similar personality where they want to connect and watch you. I've seen somebody just sitting there knitting, not even their face, just knitting on Twitch for hours, talking to people, and it's people are in there chatting them up and having fun and just enjoying their hour and a half to watch this person knit and talk. It's
Yeah.
so I think it's wonderful.
Yeah. I think it's more personal and more what's the word? Intimate than other
Mhm.
places that I found. It's just I don't know. It's just I feel it's just a lot more homely, a lot more personal for sure.
Yep. Mhm. Okay, so the advice for somebody that wants to do what you're doing is to figure out a referral stream. Get that job, do a good job. And then find maybe a company, like you're talking about your IT friend, that can do maybe what you do, but not as well. So he might have a job or a client and then sends them over to you. So it's like already somebody with a budget, they know it costs money. And then they're like,
Right.
all right, this is a high quality, great deal. So I do think that's like the best thing for freelancers, freelance world. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I wanted to talk about, we met in an online course. That was the first online course I ever purchased or whatever. And I don't know, like, well, it was my birthday month when she had did her opened the course up for people to buy in. So I had birthday money. So I was like, I'm really curious on what courses are, because it was during that time when it was like a little bit, how would you say, I don't know, predatory in a way, where it was like everyone had a course and everyone had a PDF for $2,000. But for some reason, that course, I was like, well, I feel like I'm curious overall, and I feel like I can learn something. And then you were definitely probably the only person that I met that I'm like, I like her. Like, I have a connection. Yeah, she's smart. She's smart like me and gorgeous. So
You're hip like me. We have the same kind of, humor.
yeah. So that was the only course I had done for a long time. And I recently tried another course because I thought it was valuable, like what I experienced in that particular course. I don't know what year that was in, like 2010, 12. No. It wasn't that far away. Whenever
20,
we
yeah,
met each other.
2017, 18. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 17, 18. So I felt like, okay, it was worth the money and I did learn a lot. Met a friend, like, what else? Like, that was okay. It wasn't a waste of time. Would I have signed up again? I guess so, just because I didn't know. I was learning about the whole process, but for the knowledge, I don't know if I necessarily would have. But it was the experience, it was worth the ticket price, I feel like.
Yeah.
But this new course that I just decided I'm going to take this, it was a communications course. And I'm blown away now, because in this course, they're using Discord and like actually talking, and it feels like more of a workshop thing. And it's more about, I feel like I have like 20 new friends, whereas that other course really wasn't about people connecting as much. I don't know. What do you think about courses now in 2021? Predatory, valuable? Do online tutorials until you just figure it out yourself? What's kind of the thing in your realm?
Yeah. Because I've taken a few since then, trying to dial in. I was trying to be more of a website agency kind of idea. And
Mm-hmm.
there was a lot of hit and misses in there too. And it's just like, after a while, you definitely could see the predatoriness of it all. And everyone's trying to do that. Hey, let's sell a course online. Let's sell a membership online. Get that membership
Mm-hmm.
one in, because you all you do is make a few recordings and suddenly, you get so many people watching, you make a lot of money, right?
Right.
So yeah, lately I have been very choosy about if I had any sort of course. I've done a few,
Mm-hmm.
what they call, I guess, more of a mastermind, more of a little smaller groups. And
Mm-hmm.
I found one
Yeah.
that was really helpful. But yeah, it's it's hard for me now. Like, I could see, especially understanding the whole, the funnel, what do you call, the sales funnel, or the whole process people do.
Yeah.
Like, I know it and I
Yeah, I
see
know.
it. And so,
Know the formula.
right? Oh my gosh. And when I see people mention, even though they don't really mention that they're going to be live, they kind of innuendo and say kind of they're going to go live,
Yeah.
but it's really a recording. It's like,
I
oh
can't
no, you
stand
did
that.
not just no.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I
Yeah,
know
it's
where
like
you're
already
going.
lying. It's like lying in the first second you meet somebody that is totally noticeable. It's very weird how that happens. And then you have 24 hours to sign up thing. I'm like, no, never, 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 never that. I don't shop that way.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, I do. What was it? Lynda.com. Do you remember that? Where it would be like all the tutorials. Like I do get so much out of tutorials and like stuff that you do, like in Facebook. I guess back in the day it was in Facebook videos and stuff like that, where it's like you did the work, you would do a whole work day or like working on a website and let people watch along and just I love little tech tutorials because I do learn really fast in that way. I'm a MacGyver. It's like, okay, how do I do this? Find a YouTube video, teach me in 5 minutes. And yeah, I don't always subscribe to the person necessarily, but it is valuable, So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm still taking like online courses like Udemy. It's something that where someone's recorded and it's an actual full-on course. Yeah, totally love those. Totally dig those because I'm all about learning and love to learn and love to learn stuff. But yeah, when it gets to more of these, you can make an online course too and sell it and barely work and go off and go do other stuff. And they don't really tell you the whole story in those ideas either. And it's like,
yeah, it was a course to teach you how to make an online course. Like it doesn't need something more than that.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I'm curious about the mastermind thing because I know people will spend like $20,000 or $50,000 on a mastermind, and I'm like, what is that? I don't get it.
Right? Yeah, and the crazy thing about it is, like, the first one I joined, which sounded really good from what the guy was saying and everything, and I get in there, and then, like, I think a month later, he decides to switch it up to be a different kind of focus, and it's like, "Wait, this is not what I signed up for." Then he's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm gonna split this up into, like, 3 or 4 different phases," and it's like, I really need, like, phase 3 or 4, and I'm still in 1, and I'm like, it was totally, like, not cool with how he sold it, and I was really not happy about that at all. So that really just threw me off for anything other. But I recently joined something from more of a group that was more of a trial thing, and it was really intimate with like maybe 8 people, and it worked really well for what I needed until I just now switched gears. So now I'm leaving that. But it was actually more on point of what I was looking for. It's really hard to choose.
Yeah, I'm really into conferences, but now conferences aren't happening so much. So I'm like, that's one of the reasons. I went to a couple VR conferences, 2019, I guess. Whenever. I don't remember the past anymore.
I know, right? Like I was just thinking, I keep thinking today's Wednesday, but it's not Wednesday.
But yeah, conferences, I will like. I don't want to go on vacation. Just send me on a conference with a notebook and like, I will go to every panel. Like, I don't care what it's about. Go to a tractor conference. Like I am into conferences. So not really having conferences around so much anymore. I think that's why I ended up signing up for a little class. And yeah, I feel, I would do things differently than this guy's doing them, but it still is very fun. It's a very specific group of people talking about a specific thing, and it feels like valuable. Oh, wow. So I'm a little bit changed on courses. That's why I'm asking everybody, what's the vibe? Is it predatory still, or are we moving on to like a next level? So we'll see.
Yeah.
We're right in the million changes.
Right. And I find, to really vet out a course is to find somebody else that has taken it and get their feedback on it. Someone who can at least be honest about it versus being, if they have drunken their Kool-Aid or something where like, oh my God, they're so amazing. Yet they didn't really do much from it. And that's the funniest thing I find is people, they take courses and they don't do anything from it, which, I'm guilty of that too, but it's just like, it's funny. Anyway.
Yeah. The sign up code. When they're like, use my code to sign up for that course.
Right.
Like, okay. Yeah. So what else? So yeah, I mean, I wanted to know, like, for tech stuff on Twitch, if somebody was interested in that, like how specific or broad, what kind of tech things are happening on Twitch coming from somebody that like you that knows what's going on,
So are you talking more like in terms of like what are people out there having content?
Well, like I know for bands and stuff, bands are doing like they're having their practice space and they're putting their live Twitch stream and they're taking tips to maybe doing songs, song requests, or just watching them practice, and they'll make like $50 because they turned on the camera and engaged with fans or new fans or people that don't know them. Like what's kind of going on and obviously the video game people are playing video games for tips or whatever. What's going on for tech people inside Twitch?
Tech people, I think you'll see a few different camps. One, either someone just playing around and streaming just to have more of a co-working aspect to it all, or just having a community. Another aspect would be someone who's trying to teach you how to do coding, like actually, like a academy-like idea. And so people might subscribe to actually get access to other content, like maybe you have videos on how-tos versus just being online. There's that aspect. And the last aspect is more of people who are in that developer advocate role, where they're trying to help people understand the technology that they're trying to, for a better word, pimp for their for their corporation. But
Right.
that's generally kind of where it started. Most people, I think, are just hanging out and having fun and just, having a community and enjoying coding and talk about stuff and trying new code out. But yeah, it can be a way to generate money through courses or through advocating for a business.
Yeah, I mean I didn't think about the co-working aspect of it, but that makes so much sense because a lot of people work from home being freelance as it is, and now even more people work from home even if they work for a company. So turning on someone for an hour just to chat while you work or something like that does seem fun. I didn't think about that.
Just get to know other people, in the developer community and, hanging out with them and having fun and seeing what they're working on. Or even I've heard some people, they have 2 or 3 or 4 streams going just because they're just there in the background while they're coding. So it's like co-working, really.
Yeah, I've seen on YouTube people studying for hours, streaming, just sitting at a desk studying, and I'm like, okay.
Right? You see that on TikTok too, where you just see someone they're just like staring off like this. They have paper that says like, "Oh, co-working, join me if you want, but I'm not going to answer any questions."
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
That's amazing. See how much the world is like becoming so unique? I love it.
Right? Yeah.
Okay, so the last question is about. So I'd like to have you back on the show if you would like to be on the show, and I'm kind of thinking of it as like kind of like a series. So maybe when we have you back, people might watch this old episode to be like, "Oh, what did Mary Jo Staebler say was a new goal?" And then we can swing back around like in a month or 6 months or a year, whatever it is. And you can let us know if you've achieved some sort of new goal that you're working on or not achieve, because I feel like people need to know
Right.
like I think it's people think a lot of times I think like, oh, I could do that in a month, and it's like 6 months later it's not done because you don't always, sometimes things seem easy and then it's not. And so I think that's also helpful, like not achieving goals, because I'm not into the accountability thing. It
Really?
annoys me.
Why does it annoy you? Now I'm curious. Why does it annoy you?
So like if I don't know, if somebody's like, "Did you work out today? Did you work out today? You said you would work out today." And I'd be like, "No, I didn't." Like, do
It
not
sounds
say
like
again
like
ever.
what they say a Gen X thing, where he's like, "Oh, you can't tell me what to do, even though it's in my best interest."
Right.
Yeah.
So do you have a new goal maybe you want to share with the world and be shamed later for? No, I'm kidding.
I probably would be like, "Nah, I decided not to do it and do something else."
Right.
That's my
And that happens
right.
too. So I think that's always like a valuable thing. I don't know. I just feel like it's a good, helpful conversation. Yeah.
Mm,
It's fun for me. I don't know about you,
yeah.
but
Oh yeah. No. Uh, so there's a few goals that I thought about because I was thinking about this ahead of time because like I've been saying, I've been switching my gears from being more of a freelancer agency to be more either long-term contract or maybe even find a role somewhere. And so it's either like figuring that out. That would be the goal is just to figure out what the heck am I doing, or or at least so there's that, or there's do I get a developer relations or a developer advocate role and try to go for that, or just try to stream more on Twitch, which would be a simpler goal. It's like I've been meaning to and just haven't got into the hang of it, and I feel like that would be a great goal for me. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess maybe the Mary Jo Staebler brand. That's the
Right?
Mary Jo Staebler of 2022, maybe. Maybe that's like
Ooh.
the new, I don't know, does that seem too far away? We're in September.
No, that seems perfect because, yeah, 2022,
Okay.
that's a good goal, yeah. I guess
All
it
right.
depends on how soon am I coming back, 'cause, I mean, if I need to think of something shorter.
Yeah. Well, you can always come back, but at least maybe in January we'll swing back and we'll see how, what you've tried out and what you've thought about the Mary Jo Staebler brand,
Yeah.
and see what you've decided on.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Cool. All right. Well, I guess that's the show. I'm thinking I'm live everywhere, but I don't see any chats. Like I said, I'm not advertising the live stream show yet because I don't feel confident yet. So I'm working on it. So eventually I'm hoping to maybe have a flyer or something with the time. I feel like there's so many things that can go crazy with a live stream that I'm just like not quite at the advertising stage yet. So we'll see how long that takes. I don't know. But yeah, so hopefully so with Melon, so I'm going to the 3 streams. Then I don't think it saves it inside Twitch. So
Okay.
I don't need to go there, but it saves it inside YouTube. So I'm going to pull it down from YouTube. And Melon saves the entire stream like in their cloud of some kind. And I'll download the stream and then I'm going to edit it in my own funky way and then re-upload and then post it as a podcast. So
Cool.
that's the plan. So I'll let you know. And I'll make a little commercial, like Instagram little reel.
Ooh,
So
wow.
we'll see how that goes. I might need a press photo from you. So you
Uh-oh.
can send me an email or something. Just a picture you
Yeah.
like. I know you like your Converse, maybe.
Right? I know I still have tons.
Yeah. Yeah. Mary Jo Staebler has a Converse collection, and it's so cute. I love them.
Oh, yeah, I got tons. I got almost every color. I still have to get at least yellow. I'm sure there's more, but yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for coming on the show. And anything else? I don't know.
No, thanks for having me. This was fun.
Thank you so much for believing in me and coming on and being my second guest. It means a
You're
lot.
welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, I'll talk to you in the chats. Something. Instagram, I don't know. Okay, well, I'll see you later.
All right,
All right,
thanks. Bye.
bye.